money. If a doctor were clever enough, and many of them are, there's no reason that they couldn't make at least $500,000 a year fraudulently and get away with it in psychiatry.
Now, I don't purport to have deposed every psychiatrist in Las Vegas. I can tell you for a fact I haven't. Maybe I've deposed half, and by and large they were a dishonest, deceitful, lying bunch of people.
Deras kriminella debiteringsbedrägeri är så utbrett att försäkringsutredare har slanguttryck för det. Kalifornienvinkningen och $100 handslaget.
$100 handshake is when usually a patient is institutionalized. Psychiatrist, psychologist will visit that person, shake hands with them, say, hello, I'm Dr. So-and-so, I'm taking care of your problem here, and then leaves.
They might have 10 or 20 patients there. They bill an hour for each one, and they might be in the hospital for a total of 30 minutes. So 20 patients, 20 hours, and they'd send the bills off to Medicaid.
We see that most of the victims of recovered memory therapy were women who had excellent health insurance, whether it was government insurance or private insurance, because many insurance policies wouldn't pay for this kind of long-term nonsense. So those people were targeted because of the nature of the insurance that they had.
Varje år svindlar USAs psykiatriska industri allmänna och privata sjukförsäkrare på $40 miljarder och använder alla tänkbara metoder för att lura allmänheten.
There were some advertisements, very seductive advertisements for people wanting to lose weight and were having problems losing weight. And they would be given, all expenses paid to go to a particular spa. But when they got to this spa and went in and signed in, it wasn't a spa, it was a psychiatric center. And then they couldn't get out.
What instead they received massive doses of mind-altering drugs, and they were kept for a lengthy period of time, and their insurance carrier was billed tremendous amounts of money for something that was unnecessary.
Men deras lögner når bortom psykavdelningarna, ända in i domstolarna, där de som betalda vittnen säger vad som helst för sina arvoden.
A psychiatric expert who will have one opinion in one scenario and a completely opposite opinion in another scenario based on which law firm or governmental agency is paying for his time.
These psychiatrists on one hand will tell the public that suicide can be prevented, but will go into court and tell a jury that suicide cannot be prevented. And then once you show his prior inconsistent statements, you also show that he is paid very well by pharmaceuticals, then the jury says, you know what, we're not so sure about you because you just lied to us.
Utöver deras oärlighet och girighet begår de även sexuella brott. Psykiatriker utgör bara 6% av USAs läkarkår, men svarar för en tredjedel av alla sexuellt relaterade brott som begås av läkare.
It has happened so often that by the mid-80s, the insurance companies who insure physicians across America started writing sexual claims out of the policies altogether. That's how common it was.
The system was so broken that more than 25,000 complaints had been registered, but nothing acted upon. When a psychiatrist has a patient, a female patient, and abuses them sexually, there's a very high probability they'll get away with it.
I've seen many cases where the mental health professional becomes very disturbed and is using very strange and odd treatments, and that can go on for many years with no one finding out about it because it's not very public. It's quite private. Things happen behind closed doors.
Tragiskt nog begår de ofta sexbrott mot barn. Som till exempel Dr. C. Markham Berry, på ytan en högt respekterad medborgare. Men detta rasade när han anhölls för sexuellt ofredande av barn. Billaster med barnpornografi fördes bort från hans hem. Utredningen avslöjade hans sexuella övergrepp mot tidigare patienter, pojkar mellan 7 och 17 år som han fotograferat.